Shambho Mahadev. We are discussing on the 52nd shloka. Sthanyupanimantrane Sangasmaya Karnam Purananishta Prasargat. So being invited by the celestial being for any auspicious karmas, an invitation again, we have explained about inviting, invitation, nimantranam. Inviting something to the auspiciousness. For inviting to the auspiciousness, one has to be eligible for that auspiciousness. One who is eligible for auspiciousness is only invited. Inviting in the sense, we spoke on meditation quite a lot. Again, to that particular activity, if the inviter finds people who are eligible for that, to promote him in that particular activity, to promote him in that auspiciousness, to promote him, to distract from other things and getting into this, are all the reasons why an invitation is provided. Let it be a sportsman who is invited by somebody who would like to promote him to that particular activity to be famous. A scholar, he is invited to give a talk on the scholarship that he has attained to promote him in his fame or in his knowledge. Like that. Nobody says that he has been invited to join an underworld activity. No? This term is never used. Nobody is invited. Wherever the invitation is concerned, here nimantrana is concerned is only for an auspiciousness, towards an auspiciousness. That is why that I told about the Budava. That means auspiciousness for the invitation. Amantrana. One is nimantranam, another is amantranam. Both are more or less same, but it has a difference in that. If nimantrana is an invitation, and it is his choice that he would like to come or not. The choice is given. This is called nimantranam. Amantranam is that welcoming him. He has already come, so he is accepting him. That amantranam. So nimantranam and amantranam. I think in all our languages, I think it is there. These are not new words for anyone, for that matter. Nimantranam and amantranam. Even though it gives the same, more or less, in these amantranam and nimantranam, it has a difference. There is a difference. So, I would like you to know why did I elaborate all that in one simple word of nimantrana. Is that to make one conscious about that an invitation is not given to you just like that. He should be eligible for it. When you are inviting, when somebody is inviting somebody, he knows he will be befitting to this particular company or association or place or incident or event whatever it is. A person who is not befitting to that, right, he will not be invited. He will be avoided. See, a befitting, that means one should become befitting. For to be at the presence of celestial being is why I had to tell all the meaning of this Nimantrana for that matter. Otherwise, whatever you may be, whoever you are, whatever may be your activities, whatever may be your status as far as wealth, education, status and other things are concerned, none of them matters and will not be considered for being at celestial being. The only person invited there is only the one who has got immense surrender quality, immense upasana, immense nididhyasana, immense bhakti, what we call as in normal language of the human being, we call it as bhakti. These are all bhakti only. Bhakti is not holding hands and standing in front of a temple or a statue or doing puja every day is not bhakti. Bhakti is that to be. Bhakti is that the one who has got the eligibility to surrender himself, the one who has got the capability to surrender himself, the one who has got the knowledge and efficiency and acceptance to surrender himself, and the one who has got the nishkama bhakti, or the one who is in the status of absolute no attachment, no desire, where the seed of bondage doesn't get affected in him in any manner, is the one who is eligible to have that. He is the bhakt. The parameter of bhakti, the paribhasha of bhakti, or the translation of the true bhakti is that. Otherwise what? What is bhakti otherwise? Just chanting some names, or singing some glories, or doing some puja, material with the material, and being present in a holy place. Is it all called bhakti? None of them. They are all promoting your ego only. They are all, you are doing it for your development of ego, even though these activities have been created in order to surrender the ego, but one becomes more and more egoistic on that. Why? Because the activity doesn't promote him from one status to the other status. Each and every year he goes to a Tirthasthal, he keeps on going to Tirthasthal, no? But he has not benefited anything out of that Tirtha. Dhyanam has not been taken place. Any number of times going to the spot, what is the use? Go to the river bank every day and come back. Doesn't make any difference. You should be in a position to cross the river. Then it makes a difference. Dharanam, dharayate. The one who is crossing that barrier where it is unknown. The other bank is not known, but to the unknown. But he should have the power of discrimination to know what is there in the other bank. That power of discrimination, through power of discrimination, one will be able to attain it. So it is not an easy thing. I have not been invited is because you are not eligible for it. So invitation is that. When today in our material world, we, for any calling anybody or inviting anybody for anything, for a lunch also, we call it as an invitation for a lunch, invitation for dinner. Okay. But in that also, the meaning is inherent. He should be eligible for that dinner. He should be eligible for that lunch. No? Otherwise we don't invite. So there also the meaning comes, but even though it is used for different purposes, because material science, material world, we have no other word. So we have borrowed this word from the great auspicious things. But here, Sthanyupanimantrana. Sthanamanam, that is why the one who has got a sthanam, one who has got the capability to do manyata to the others, he is the one who is inviting, not anybody and anyone. He is the one who is inviting the mantrana, sthanyam, anyupadi mantranate. So, nimantranam is being done by the one who has got the identity, the one who has got the absoluteness in him, the one who has the capability to give manyata to the others. Who will do the manyata? Is only a body who has got the great capabilities. Not a university of so and so only will give manyata certificate, manyata patra. We call it as manyata patra. What is that certificate? No, manyata patra. That manyata can be given by whom? By those scholars who are considered to be much above. So sthanya manya, celestial being. So in order to invite to that, who is eligible to invite? Only he is eligible. For that invitation, he doesn't send an invitation. Here, in material world, we send an invitation. Continuing with that, there you become eligible for invitation. I'm just walking. An identity card is that you attain the Dhyanam, attain the Bhakti, he just gets in there, that's all. This is the manyata there, this is the eligibility there. There is no sending an invitation here in the meaning, inviting or nimantrana, that means calling, please come. Like we say, bulava. It's not literal meaning of bulava, that means somebody calling you, please come. Not necessary at all. Here, the case in the celestial being, what is the case? Once you become the jnani, once you become the bhakt in the sense, the one who is totally surrendering as upasana, nididhyasana qualities, have acquired the jnanam and have no bondage at all. The seeds of bondage have been destroyed. He automatically, that's the invitation. Once he attains it, he knows. It's not that one need not to have a paper invitation or a telephonic invitation or any other method is not there. Nobody calls him, nobody invites him. He becomes eligible and he goes there. That's all. He is there already. There in the sense where it's not that traveling from one place to other, being here itself, being there. That's it. That's the invitation. That's why it is not being invited to come to such and such place and meet me at such and such time. An appointment is given. No. At the appointed status, at the appointed position, at the appointed eligibility, the celestial being comes into him. The celestial being comes there. Celestial being there, and he exposes himself to that. It's not that he is traveling somewhere, like invitation in the sense where we be normally being called. There's no calling, as we said, bulava, there's nothing like that. Internally there, being here, as I said, being here, he becomes there. That's all. So the difference being here and there has been eliminated. The distance between the being here and there has been eliminated, so there is no difference between here and there. The words which is here and there will automatically cease having any meaning to that. That's called inviting. Got it? Ultimate. How? This will be the yogi here, what happened the moment he feels that the difference between here and there is no more there. He has attained that celestial being in him. Swamiji says here very clearly, this we have already, earlier also we have discussed in different occasions. Yogi should not feel pleasure or pride. Higher the level attained by the yogi, greater the temptations. The more one becomes powerful, the more one becomes eligible, the more one becomes start feeling the plentiness in him of X, Y, Z, whatever it is, whether it is wealth, whether it is position, whether it is status, whether it is Dhyanam, education, whether it is Dhyanam, there are so many, pride comes to him, they say. So what happens is that because he becomes, oh, I am a great guru, there are so many people. I am a great guru, I am a great jnani, I am a great wealthy man, I am number 1 in the world, or I am number 10 in the world, whatever it is, X, Y, Z. With various things we measure ourselves, we limit ourselves to be the egoistic. Number 1 in the world means number 1 egoistic. Number 10 in the world means 10th egoistic. So the queue, like that comes. The ego increases in him. Many people, good jnanam even jnanis, so many people who are great knowledgeable people, great scholars, no doubt, and they know everything. It's not that they don't know, they know everything. We cannot deny that. But what happens? His ego, Ravana, another same example repeatedly, easily comes to our mind, is Ravana. Great tapasvi, great jnani. All Vedas, all Shastras, music, Yuddhakala, Rajniti, what he doesn't know. No? Everything he knows, in all the fields, you take anything for that matter, he knows. Then what happens? Because of his ego. Because of that he said, oh, I can even lift Kailas. Was his ego. His own Adaraniya, his own Devata, his own Ishvara, who blessed him for all this. His ego has become so much that he can lift his own abode. Look at his ego. Not that he could not realize that whether it is ego or whether he is expressing his capability of doing that. Even Shiv's abode I can lift is what is challenging. Whereas his ego, his knowledge and his blessings has all vanished only because of ego. That means, look at that ego, the ahankara. He loses the sobodha. All the jnanam is vanished in that. For all the number of years, the number of janmas, he did tapasya. He lived for long years, no? For so many years, so many janmas, so many years, he has done tapasya and attained all this. First is from his father, next is from, all by doing tapasya. Maharshi Vaishnava's son, being his son, automatically he has got inherited his knowledge also, inherited the nobility in him, but with all that, only because of the asurik ego, asurik pravati, asurik vichara, ego has come inside him and he has blinded him. Even though the knowledge is much, much greater there, the ego, little bit of ego, when it came, it blinded him of the knowledge. that knowledge has been utilized only for promoting the ego then. See, the knowledge is there. It's not that knowledge is not there. Knowledge cannot go. Knowledge is always there. Anybody who acquires knowledge, it cannot go. It will be there with him. But what happened? He utilizes this ego for promoting the ego. He utilizes the knowledge to promote the ego, to boost up the ego, that's all. Instead of distinguishing or vanquishing that ego. That is why the Dhyanam is given. Dhyanam is given for that. But what happens? Here the ego, when it comes, the attractions and attachments, temptations and expectations are much more attractive, glittering. And then Dhyanam they use for promoting that. This is what happens. So the Swamiji says here, the greater the temptations, the level attained by the yogi, or he said the yogi should not feel pleasure or pride. The higher the level he attained, the yogi, the greater the temptation. Ego is the cause of any attachment or pride that might arise when the yogi attains the ability to commune with the celestial beings. As I said, when he, with his great powers of tapasya and his dedication, his devotion, his samarpana bhava, his upasana, dedication and devotion is that. Dedication is that, dedicating himself, that is samarpanam. Devotion is that he attains the absoluteness. That means after devoting, he is not himself, is called devotion. After dedication only, devotion comes. Dedicate yourself, then the devotion comes. That's called the devotion. Devotion is the status. Dedication is an activity. These are the two different things. So after dedicating, the devotion comes. Devotion is status, that you reach the status by executing dedication. Dedicate yourself, dedicate your mind, dedicate your sharira, dedicate your buddhi, dedicate your bodham, dedicate your jnanam, dedicate your wealth, dedicate your everything, dedication. That means you should not have any attachment towards anything. Is called the dedication, is called samarpana bhava, that's all. Sama arpayate iti samarpanam. Samam arpayate, equivalent to me, whatever I have, all that I do. Whatever I have, unconditional there. There's no list making. No. It is like it's like somebody borrowed money and the government auctions the building. Okay. When you are auctioning the building, he doesn't mention so many doors, so many windows, or so many beds and cots, and even nothing can be taken from there. Once the auction has been declared, not even one small paper can be taken from there. Everything has to be there. No? Then only it is kept from auction. So, no specific, then once for auctioning, no specification is necessary. As is where is condition. Whatever including all the fittings, and we say that, something like that. Fixtures and fittings. Like that. Including everything, my papa, punya, karma also, even including everything I surrender. Sama arpanam. Arpanam has got great word, not just giving, take it, if you want you take it. That's all. Are you satisfied now? You given everything? No, not like that. Not like that. Arpanam is that. Arpanam is that, He Bhagavan, accept me with all this as I am. Please accept me. He has to show daya to accept us. Why? You know why? Because he doesn't need you. Simple. The one who needs you only will say, okay, I'll take it. How much money you want? He doesn't need you. So you have to No? That's called samarpanam. Arpanam is that. Arpanam, that you should become eligible to be. He has got all the rights to reject it. Sorry, I cannot accept you because you have this. You are still bonded. You are still having these ignorances. You still have this ego. Sorry, cannot accept you. Please come after 3 Janmas. Then I will consider your case. You want to take the serial number 34198978325643 and 000000. And when you come to this number, then I will call you. Something like that. Yeah, it is like that, yes. An ego. Celestial being, a yogi who has spent all his life only for this purpose, only for attaining the celestial being, having got invited to him, having got that celestial being in him, having got the Brahma Jnanam in him, Brahma Sakshatkaram in him, Brahma Jnanam, what is celestial being here means celestial being here. That Brahma Jnanam has come, Brahma Sakshatkaram has come. When the Brahma Sakshatkaram, Brahma Jnanam has come, there is no individual, there is no planet, there is no earth and sun and moon, there is no galaxy, there is no Akasha, there is no Brahmanda, universe, there is no nothing like that. There is no division of anything at all. I am there, that's all. Sarvam Brahmamayam. That status he has attained. When the status he has attained, having not completely transformed himself as the Sharira is still there, or the Mana is still there, or the previous characteristics, habits are still there. An iota, a small iota of an ego which is somewhere in the corner, going round and round. It gets promoted. You will be wondering, how is it? Is it possible? Is that what you should be thinking? Yes, one should think. Yes. You plow a land, put all the medicines, clear off all the unwanted weeds and everything. You put the most quality seeds, sow it, and comes the rain. One shower came, next day morning you go, the seeds are only so small, but the weeds have already grown up that much. Where is the weed has come from? You have removed it, you chemically treated it, you did the plowing, you did this, you did that, everything, but so many weeds. The moment one shower comes, which was barren land, which was nothing was there, after one shower you go there, suddenly sprouting, those weeds have sprouted up. Somewhere hidden below, you see. The moment he has got one drop, how much he must have got water by the shower. Even if he has got one drop of water, that weed can grow very tall. And your seed, even if you give more water, so whatever this one, its growth is limited and it will come only up to that. But the weed has no limits of growing it like a jungle. It will grow just like that, faster. Nobody takes care of it, but still it grows. Where it has come from? Hidden somewhere. And for which? How much water required? One drop of water. Same way, the practices that one has been undergoing and the one who has been experiencing in the lifelong number of lives, through these lives, experiences have been there, registering of experience have taken place. In that case, in that process, what happened? Somewhere, some little bit of ego is still left. That ego will immediately grow and will show him attractions and attachment and will tell him that, look, hey, now you are not an ordinary man. You are a Brahma Sakshatkari. You are Brahmajnani. You have attained all that Jnanam. The difference between here and there is no more there. You are that great personality. So you cannot just be simple like that. You should finish. These are all, and he keeps on teaching him all that egoistic sensations. There is every possibility for a yogi who is not really firm on his, not that all yogis, really not firm on this and have really understood and have rigorously worked on that to remove the bondage and remove the seeds of the bondage from inside, he will get attracted one day by this ego, and then the ego will grow inside him. Then what happens? The yogi says, the yogi should not feel pleasure or pride on that. Neither pleasure nor pride. Oh, I am a Brahma Sakshatkari, I got Brahma Sakshatkar. No. Pride. I am the greatest in the world, universe. I only know everything. I can do everything. No, this is what Siddhas, in between Siddhis come. They get attracted to Siddhis. Those Siddhas say this word because they are not attained the Brahmajnanam. The Siddha who is have got Siddhis, they will say, I can do this, I will do this, I am doing this. This is what is happening. I can settle that, I can settle this, I can settle this, I can everything. I'll do everything. Because I am the Brahmajnani, I have attained that. This will come in him. What? That pride and the pleasure of being adored. Pleasure itself is material. Pleasure is not at all in the celestial being. So pleasure and pride. Ego, what is the reason why? Because of that? Because of the greater the temptations. After becoming celestial being, what should I do next? After becoming Brahma Sakshatkari, why should I do now? What should I do next? The moment the I comes, what should I do now? Now I had been struggling all these years. What happened? He was been only his temptation was to become a Brahma Sakshatkari. Okay. Now the Brahma Sakshatkara has come. Having come, now what to do? Now what to think? So long that something was there to preoccupy him. I have to become the Brahmajnani, Brahma Sakshatkari. Now what should I do? After having got that, what to do? His mind will not keep free of that, of temptation. Now having got it, what should I do? That's all the difference. Before, I want to have it. Now after having it, now what should I do? What next? As we all say, what next? I'm not happy with that. What next? The moment he thinks what next, because after Brahma Sakshatkaram, automatically it will lead you towards wherever it is necessary if you are already surrendered. There is nothing that you are holding on to, anything in fact, even to the Brahman. You are not holding on even to the Brahman, you are not recognizing that also. You should be away from that. Automatically what happens? You keep away from that so that the temptations should not be there. When the temptation that comes, then the ego is arised. When the ego arises in him, the cause of that ego is the cause of any attachment or pride that might arise when the yogi attains the ability to commune with the celestial being, and that would be his downfall. Immediately he is reversed back to square one, to that status where he came back. Vishwamitra had this problem. Vishwamitra undergone the status of that, even though he was tricked for that. But one can get, people are there around to trick you, no doubt about it. They will do. Why should you get tricked? A yogi cannot get that, cannot get attached to that. Even though that, so Vishwamitra had to undergo that punishment. He had to come back again, in the sense, do the tapasya again to attain the Brahmarishi. The principle being here, each and every step in spirituality has to be crossed with absolute firmness and after fulfilling it. There should be nothing left behind, okay, after I become the next one, I will take care of this. It's after all a small one. No, it will be underneath and will be hidden and will stay there as a weed. That should not happen. In our life also the same thing. Kartavyas and karmas. Nothing is big, no one is big. Everybody is doing their own karma. One should not have those expectations and temptations, attachments and attractions, and that egoistic approach of that. Have to have the Dhyanam. What is the tool for all this is that acquisition, acquiring the Dhyanam. The Dhyanam has to be there. Unless the Dhyanam is there, you will not be in a position to surrender yourself. So Samarpana Bhava comes only if you got Dhyanam. If there is no Dhyanam, Samarpana cannot be done. Because ego remains there, temptations remains there, attraction and attachment remain there. So long they are all there, the Samarpana is not possible. Unless the Samarpana is done, you cannot go beyond. That also is there. So that is why every step has to be fulfilled, every step has to be completed. So each stage has to be completed, not that, oh, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it day after. That part and things like that. That should not happen. For a yogi, having attained all that, if there is every possibility that he can get influenced by his ego, so that will be his downfall. But not that all yogis who have that, but others will automatically merge in the Brahman. Layam takes place. He will not exhibit exhibit his siddhis for any small purposes or big purposes. The siddhis are kept reserved for many things. It is like Brahmashirostra. Brahmashirostra is not used all the time. Brahmastra is different, Brahmashirostra is different. Brahmashirostra can be used only once, and once it is used, it will not come back. Brahmastra can come back. Brahmashirostra, it is like Brahmashirostra. Use it only an absolutely necessary time, and then it will be lost. It will not come back. It is Brahmastra. So, same way, you have to utilize your spirituality in such a manner that it's fulfilled everything, so that you should not, no backlog should be there. There the ego and understanding has to be complete. The Dhyanam has to be complete. It cannot be learnt. It cannot be, as I told you always, it cannot be by-hearted. It cannot be learnt. You can read 1,000 times. You can attend satsang thousands of times, like lakhs of times. You can read, translate, and contemplate. Everything is okay. Nothing will take you there unless absolute surrender, absolute samarpana is there, and upasana and nididhyasana. On the 53rd sloka, Bhagavan says, Chanada karmayoho samyama duve gajam jnanam. That's what comes to. Chanada karmayoho. Chanam, moment. Chanada krama, moment to moment, krama, through the krama, in chanada kramayoho, chanada krama. Krama means in a series, kramam, serially, krama in a krama, serially, moment, 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 serially. Samyama dvivekacham samyamam. The performing of samyamam. Performing of samyamam. We know what is samyama, I believe. After having the samyamam, yogi should practice it on moment to moment. He should be there. Just be here. Just be here. Just be here. That's all. Nothing else. Dvivekacham Dhyanam. In succession comes the Dhyanam, the discrimination. What is Dhyanam? Dhyanam is the power of discrimination. Dhyanam is that absolute knowing, is knowledge. Dhyanam. To know is Dhyanam. Dhyanam. To have the knowledge, to know the knowledge, to know is knowledge. What is that to do? To know. If you know it, you have discriminated it. This is not necessary, this is necessary. This only is necessary, all other things are not necessary. Discrimination. This is called Dhyanam. So once you have the Dhyanam, all the ignorances that has been utilized by you for attainment of Dhyanam will become obsolete. We use so many tools, no? For many things. As I always told you, last time also I think in one of the class I said that in order to send a satellite which is weighing only few kilograms, you have to make a few tons. 450 tons is the total weight, including the structure of that and all that. But what ultimately is that, which is 450 kilos. For that, so many tons have to be there. Same way, we have so much of accessories. You got a sharira, you got a buddhi, you got a mana, you got a buddhi, you have education, you have your family, you have got your society, you have got your country, you have got your world, you have got the Brahmanda. All have been given, enough space has been given, enough people have been given, enough experience have been given. In that, everything is there so that you can learn it step by step. All those laboratory is full. Laboratory is always there for you to experiment. Any experiment in any manner you want, you can even explore the laboratory. For that also provisions are provided. For everything it has been provided. You do experimentation, no problem. But you have to come out of it. How can you do the experimentation without temptations or expectations? So when you're doing it, you have to do it at this moment, each and every moment. How does the scientist function? Suppose he wants to develop he wants to attain some experience out of the research that he is doing. How does he do it? He is only on that. He is not on the result. He is not on, what he will become, when it will come, nothing. He will become 70 years, 80 years, 100 years. He will keep on doing it. He will keep on doing that research. In that research, each and every step, he very carefully ascertains and then fulfills it, goes to the next moment. He doesn't sit here and look at what will be, how many moments I have to pass through, how many experiments I have to do. He doesn't calculate 250 experiments, I will conclude my experiment. No. How much it will take? It may 250, it may be 2500. He is not bothered. That counting is not there. So now. This is how the term which we have used, that being in present. It's not that. So that's how it can. The yogi, tempted by this celestial being, if he is fully concentrated on moment at the hand, that's what is meant by the phrase be here now. His full awareness is being applied in each second that passes. So no time is left for temptation and distractions. How is it explaining to us? We have described about the yogi who has got no difference between here and there, have attained the Brahma Sakshatkaram. Having attained the Brahma Sakshatkaram, if he gets influenced by the ego, he will slide back like a snake and ladder. Fall into the mouth of the snake, it comes back here. Same way, he comes back. How to prevent that? In order to prevent that, the yogi should be at that moment. When he is at that moment, what happens? There is no past, there is no present, there is no future. There is no now, there is no then, there will be, nothing is there. Because once in the Brahma Sakshatkaram, he becomes a Trikala Jnani. In Trikala Jnanam, past, present, future is not there. Bhuta, Bhavi, Vartamana is not there. So when it is that, what happens? He is at that moment only. He need not to expect for the future. He need not look for it because the future is not there for him. The future is not at all there. What is there for him? Everything that future, what you call as future, is his present. The past, what you call as past, is his present. What is the present then? There is no present. There is no past, no future, no present. That is not even moment to moment. That is not even being present. Present to be present. There has to be a kind of consciousness which is making your ego feel that you are here. When your mind and your sharira is here, then only you say that I am in present, I was in past, I will be in future. All this comes when your mind and when you have got a sharira. When, as far as Brahma Sakshatkaram has been attained, when there is no mana, when there is no sharira, the consciousness what is there is over. Where is the question of past, present and future? It's only when the mind is there, when the ego is there, when the ahankara is there, the time and cause and everything is there. The limitations are there. All these limitations only will take you towards then and that. But whereas I have already told that the here and there is no more there. When that here and the difference between the here and there no more there is no ego. So you are at the present. That's why that is known as present. Where is the present? There is nothing called present. If there is no past, there is no future, there is nothing called present also. No. And I have told this long back in the Upanishads teaching. You all talk about present, be present. I hear a lot of talks going on television. Even I also used to speak. Even now I say, okay, that's only for the purpose. But I know what I'm sort of speaking. What is that present? The now, the moment. He said that moment to moment, chana. That's why it is used as chana, moment. What is present? Oh, we will say today is our activities, present job, present kartavya, voluminous, limitations. What is present? Any idea? When we talk about present, what is present? For a normal mind,
present is a gift.
by the time I say present, the present is gone. Before I finish pra, present is gone. After pra, sa has come. Then after sa has gone, and ent has come. The present was not there. Pra is one moment. Pra, then pra has gone. Sa has gone. Ent has gone. Finished. That Chana Kramayu. That Chanam only is a present. Now what can you do? How much? What all you can do in that? You understand what is present? That is present. By the time I finish that one letter even, P, finished, well, present is gone. Now I have come to some other present. That is gone, I have come to another present. Molecule, one, each kanika, when it moves, each and every pearl, when it moves, each and every droplet, a microscopic droplet, not the full one. Its droplet is gone, the present is gone. That's all the present. And we talk about do it present, be it in present, be. That means, what should we understand that? Then what? How do we do it? How can we do it? The principle Chanam is only present. Makes you conscious that present is so short that you cannot do anything in that. It's so short that you can't do anything in that. Please, this is a different theory I'm talking about, probably, which is new. Many people may not accept it. In that Chanam, what can you do? In that Chana, be in present, and do things in present, be in present. No past. He is talking about past is that 100 years before and 100 years after. That is not. That is, and this 100 years of this is what we think as present. That's not present. But Chana. By the time I finish, say Chanam, the present is gone. That present is gone, another present has come. Now what can you do? What is the meaning of it? Then why these all classifications with this technology and this making us understand that we can't do anything in the present? Can you do anything in present? No. In that Chanam, what can you do? Nothing can be done. Nothing. Only thing what you can do is do tapasya and associate yourself with that Chanam. Associate yourself with that Chanam. Pa, that's all. It doesn't move. Pa remains. Suppose I'm just telling Pa because just to make you. This is suppose Pa is my present. I am not moving from present, from Pa. Neither I am going back nor I am going forward. It is not necessary. Why? Because the present is a result of the past, and present is an expectation of the future. What's present? Present is that?
Result of the past.
Present is a result of the past. If the past was not there, present is not there. It's a result of the past. Expectation of the future. If that expectation is there, not there, I will have only past. Then also present is not there. Past alone is there and present is there. There is no present. Past, everything is past. Past is there. It's an experience or result. The result, what I have done, is why I am here now. The expectation of tomorrow is there. That is why I am here now. Otherwise, I would not be there. So neither if past is not there, present is not there. If the future is not there, the present is not there. Are you getting it? Both have to be there, and again, not only one. Both have to be there, then only the present can be there. Result has to be there, expectation has to be there. If only result is there, then the present is not there. Finished. If only expectation is not there, present is not there. It has to be both, isn't it? What is that? The junction between that past and future, what we are talking about, which is known as the present, which is called the Kshana Matra. That's called the moment. Just that. That's it. You are not that. Less than that. Matra, Tan Matra. That's called the present. In that, what can you do? So we all say that, no? Be in present, be in present. What is the meaning of that be in present? Be in present, be here. Two words are used. Be in present, be here. As I told you. Be in the Kshanam. How can you be in that Kshanam? Or in that Tanmatra? How can you be there? You can be there when you surrender yourself. Then you are not affected by the past results. You are not affected by the past is there, result is there, fine. You are not affected by the results of the past. Having not affected by the results of the past, you have no expectations. Having had the results of the past, you have a future. Do you know that? If the past was not there, you will not have any expectations at all. Will you have? No. The basis of expectation is experience of the past. Are you getting it? It's technically proven. It's very difficult to perceive it, it's difficult. Even though we think we have understood. There is no expectations if there is no experience of the past or the result of that's called the experience means the result of the past. So result of the past is the cause for the expectation of the future. The juncture of this expectation and the experience is called the present. And in the present, we can't execute both of them. Neither the present can be executed, nor the future can be executed in the present. Because it is Kshana Matra. Then how to do it? Only way. Because there is a past, because there is a future, there is a present. Eliminate the past. Everything is eliminated. Only one. Eliminate the past, everything is eliminated. Tuck, 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 tuck. Finished. Vanished. What are you holding back? What is holding you back? Your past experiences. Your past experiences, and from there you want to, from the past experiences, once you start analyzing, you want to achieve something. Because I have not achieved it here, I want to achieve it. So always related with that, you see. I have not got this pleasure, so I want to get this pleasure. I have to, do this thing. Why I have not done this? No, this has not happened because it was not available at that time. So I must make it available. Find out that the future is 100% linked with your experience of the past. Karma phalam. Simple. That's all. This is what is known as karma phalam. If you do not create the experimental experiences of results in the past, the future is not there. Is why Bhagavan said, after doing your karma, give me the karma phala. Means what? The karma phala should not be enjoyed by you. The consciousness of the karma phala should not be there. Just do the karma, phala should not be there, because that will remain as a point for you to have the future. And you cannot design the future. The future is only linked with the past. You are just entangled with that only. You are only modifying it. You are not transforming it. Modifying the past or modifying the experiences doesn't make you liberated from the karma. No. You have to eliminate that, then only you will be eligible for liberation. How to get rid of the karma. Fine. Okay, agree. Future is this one that connected with the past. Present is only Chana Matra. Nothing can be done. Now how to get rid of the past? I have to remove the memory. Finished. When my memory is blocked, my past is blocked. How to block that? Through the Dhyanam, through the Bhakti. Be conscious. Through the Dhyanam only is possible. Through the Dhyanam, through the Bhakti, be conscious and surrender yourself. When you surrender yourself, you are telling you what is called surrender. Surrender is not a physical action of Sashtanga Pranam or bowing down. It's not surrender. Surrender is an activity by the mind, not a physical activity. What is surrender? Surrender is that you are conscious that your mind and body is not the me. The Atma is the me, which doesn't have any of these ingredients of the ego, ahankara, and my function, my karma, my bhala, my results, my relationship, my bondage, my attraction, my attachment, my ego, my anger, my jealousy, my this. None of them are there. In surrender, what happens? Nothing is yours is called surrender. Is it not? Otherwise, what is surrender? After giving something, no, this I will keep it with me. That's not surrender. Surrender is that absolute in all senses. बोलते हैं नॉर्मल लैंग्वेजेस में तन मन से समर्पण करते हैं. So normal language, people all use it. तन मन से समर्पण करते हैं. शरीर, मन and prana has to be surrendered. When this surrender takes place, then only the liberation takes place. Liberation from the past. Liberation from the experiences. Liberation from the karma bhala. And liberation from... When I get the liberation from karma bhala, I get liberation from karma. So when I get liberation from karma, that's called the future. When I get liberation from the karma, I get mukti, moksha, or brahma sakshatkara, brahma jnana. Is what he is talking about. Chanata kramayoho. That's why he said chanata kramayoho, repeatedly only on that chanam. It's not that after one chanam the second chanam comes, but I do not have any differentiation between chanata kramayoho. Chanam will come in krama, one after another. But in chanata krama means that when it comes in chanata krama, I am always in that chana krama. That's all. I can only give you one example. How is it possible? you get into a train from Calcutta. Okay. Keep looking at the track, railway track. After 2000 kilometers of going up to Chennai or up to Delhi, still you keep on looking at this. Is the rail different? Has the rail changed from there to here? If you keep on looking at it, what happened? Same thing you are seeing, no? You are not seeing that the rail is moving or the train is moving, no. You are seeing only the rail, no? You understand? But actually, you are moving. Okay, fine. You understand? Only in your eyes, in front of your eyes, just only rail is there. Does it have a difference, the rail at that portion and 2000 kilometer before and 2000 kilometer afterwards? No? Is there? You are only on that, no? Chanata krama. Chana. Every inch of the rail when it moves, you are with it. So you don't find any difference between the first chana and the 2000th chana. Do you find any difference? Same way, chanata krama, being there only, stuck, we say. Being there only. How can you be there? We are always calculating that I am there and that chana is there. It's why we are having all this complication. The moment you have surrendered, the moment your past is finished, that means chana, surrender has taken place, understanding has taken place, you are not there, only that chana is not there. So the moment you are not there, you are not there means your consciousness of sharira and mana is no more there. When your consciousness that sharira and mana is no more there, I am the Atman, pure Atman, I am there only, and then what happens? That even though you have a sharira and mana, you are not consciously accepting it, that it is there or not, you are accepting the Brahman. So what happens? You are all over. All over in the sense, there is no present, there is no future. That is called the present. No past, no future. You are all over. When you are all over, as I sometime back I told you, in the space, they are filled with, the space is filled with you. No movement is necessary, no past, no future. No experiences, no expectations. The cause, the problem is that only that we connect with the past always, and the experiences are connected with the expectations. That makes you conscious of that makes you conscious of your sharira and mana. And when you make yourself conscious of your sharira and mana, your ego rises. So long the ego is there, you have a past, you have a future, you have a present, you have this, that and all that. Otherwise, nothing is there. The experiences have to be, all the experiences have to be eliminated. When it is freezes, where is the present? And what is future? Future is related with the past only. The past is not there, future is not there. Understand? So the present is chanika. So every moment of yours should be under the surrender. When you surrender, every moment, that moment, each and every moment becomes, you become there. Chanada kramayoho. Samyama dvivekacham, the one who has got the samyamam, the yogi, tempted by the celestial being, if he is fully concentrated on moment to moment, this is called the moment. Moment at hand. This is what is meant by the phrase be here now. His full awareness is being applied to each second that passes. So the expectation and the past, present and future is no more, they should not be there for a yogi. When that happens, then only the yogi gets, or the siddha gets attracted and attached to those siddhis, so that he can give, oh, he has got more powers. Who has the powers? The ego has the powers. The mind has the powers. That's what consciousness says. So once he is stuck there, then he uses those powers only for what's that? Eliminating himself gradually with the sins. That's all. That should be used for promoting himself towards that. Yes, there are great people they use for this. Tapasvis and Maharishis use the Tapo-bhala for the purpose. That's called Tapo-bhala. Tapo-bhala using for the purpose of the benefit of the humanity without having any personal interference or personal interest on that. Yes, that personal selfishness is not there. Is why I told you some time back that the detachment is attachment without inhibition, and selfishness is what I said, if I remember correct. When that inhibition and selfishness is not there, the detachment what he is talking, he is in a detached state, but attached with everything. Without any inhibitions and selfishness is why he is a detached soul, we call it. It's a detached yogi. It is called yoga. Yujyate iti yoga. Today yoga is being used for, being talked about yoga for that physical exercise of the yogic asana vyayama. What is that physical exercise you are doing? Physical exercise is that yogic asana vyayama is a part of that which is being utilized today as the, like Ramdev Baba, what he is teaching, when people are doing, they are good, no doubt about it. Flexibility of the sharira will improve upon quite a lot of things. Concentration improves, studies improves, and understanding improves. He becomes more composed, and he becomes more self-conscious, and he becomes more patient. His emotions are within his limit. All these benefits are there by physical activity or exercise of the yoga. That's why they call it as yoga generally. Actually, these are yogic asana vyayamam. The yogic asana. Yogic asana. In order to have the yoga yujyate, to have the merging with the Parabrahman, the higher consciousness, you have to have a particular asana. In a particular asana, in the sense, you have to stay yourself in a particular position. You have to behave yourself in a particular manner. You have to think in a particular manner. You have to act in a particular manner or particular position. That particular position is known as the stability. That means in order to attain that stability is called asana. Asana is that where you sit. That's called asana. Yes. Upasana, asana. Asana where you sit firmly so that you don't fall. In order for you to sit firm, see, it's a very deep meaning. Yoga, people do not know the exact meaning of the yoga. People are doing exercise. Yoga is that again, in order to yujyate, to have yoga with the Brahman, you have to sit firmly. Sit in the sense, you have to mentally, you have to be firm. Firm in the sense, you have to be discriminative. Discriminatively be firm. Firm in the sense, not wavery. What is called firmness? Firmness is not agitation. So when there is no agitation in the mind, there is firmness. This firmness is that, the firmness of understanding. Through the Dhyanam, firmness of understanding to be layam in the Brahman. That firmness. In order to have that firmness, you have to sit on firm. No? That's called the asana. So asana is there to sit, to become firm. In order to make you firm, sitting firm, mentally and physically, you do, that's called asana. So yoga asana. So in order to have the yoga, asana is necessary. Asana is that. Asana is not the one seat that you are sitting on. You have to be in the position of the absoluteness. Non-agitative, absolute status of one being. That means That's the ekagrata. You have to have that ekagrata in you. When you have that ekagrata, you are in the yoga asana. He is in yoga asana, yogic asana. That means he is absolutely in that. So to be in that yoga asana, so yoga asana, vyayamam. For Sharira and Mana to be eligible to be in that concentrated form or to be in that firmness or in that non-agitative status, flexibility of the Sharira, since we are having a Sharira and Mana, the flexibility of the Sharira is necessary. Why? Because there are so many diseases, so many problems, and immobility of the Sharira is there. So when that is through the Vyayama, when that immobility is eliminated, some percentage of problems are sorted out, so that physically you will not be disturbed while doing the tapasya. So in order to attain that status, this Vyayama is necessary. It's called today what we call as yoga. Am I right? You analyze yourself whether it is right or wrong. But yoga is something else. Yujyate iti yoga. Ramdev Baba still is doing that, but he has not become Brahmachari. Has he? Has he got the layup? No. But he is a good teacher of the Vyayama, no doubt about it. And he can definitely can sit, he can stand in any posture. You have seen that in television, that Asura standing on one leg and doing tapasya, you see, and with both the hands folded like this, and doing tapasya for years together. So in order to do that, you have to have that flexibility. The Vyayama is necessary to attain that, so that he can attain the non-agitative status. So, yoga, asana, Vyayama. It's good to that extent. So one should understand what it is, and it is not bad, because today's people, they all necessary from the childhood. If it is done, it is all very good for the children. Much better from that only. Everything, in fact, even the Veda Patana, Upanishad Patana, everything from that small mind. If we inculcate that taste in that, your understanding is more firm and non-interrupted. What is the benefit of learning from the childhood? Do you know? Tell me, what is the benefit? I said now, from the childhood, if we learn all this, whatever learn is beneficial. Why?
Roots are strong. Roots are strong.
So she says roots are strong. What is other opinions? Why is it better when we learn it? I mean, when you learn it in the childhood itself. Okay, you said that what understanding that you have learned is stronger. How it is stronger? Why it is stronger?
Because nothing else has come so far.
So that's it. Then, how about others? What is your opinion? What are your
The
opinions?
minds are open.
Okay. I accept everything. It's all right. Everything is right also. What are their opinions? I would like to know. Why we say from the childhood learning all this is better.
There is no strong opinion as a child, so whatever is taught, the child goes into that line. Mentally, preparation.
That is that's her vision. Her views about others. Why we should learn it.
He gets molded into that stream right from the childhood, then there are no distractions.
Are we sure about it? Will there be no distractions? When he
Then
grows up,
there are no distractions in childhood, or less distractions in childhood.
all are right. All are right. It's not that it's wrong, it's right answers. But It's correct. It's correct. What else? What about you, both of you? I want to listen. Why one should learn from children?
Just that it becomes the process of living your life dharmically and righteously becomes, you do it right from the start, so you're always in that. You reach the liberation also and the understanding of it much earlier.
It is easy to mold the child. When the child is small, very easy to mold him in any way. So if they're taught these things early, then they get it, they retain, continue to retain this.
All are right, no doubt about it, but in different ways. Right. We have to go to the true sense of it. All of you are right. Actually, this is what happens, and everything is right. When this is learned, when the right things are learned, or anything is learned in the childhood or as inculcated in childhood, he will utilize that knowledge as preventive to the other knowledges, or to discriminate the other knowledges that will come in at a later date in his life. That is the reason why it has to be taught. This is what you should understand. Am I technically? This is the reason, not that it can be easy to mold and all that. But there are so many children that who are learned in smaller, this one, they have become badmash when they grew old. No? There are so many are there. Their entire system. And we also said that, Dekho, from which family he comes, and what was their father's and grandfather's education, and their bringing up, and their discipline, and when he came out of the house, he has become something else. This also is possible. Why? Because it was not teaching. Now there are two different things here. It's a very big subject. It cannot be told in one sentence. It's a big subject. When a child is there, and when the Vedas and Upanishads and the Shastras and Tattvas and Brahma Vidyas and things like that have been taught into him, they are the absolute knowledge which synchronizes him with the Prakriti and Purusha. You understand? When he is synced, in our modern language, with the Prakriti and Purusha, his strength of the knowledge he provides, he gets from the source, that which is there in the Prakriti and Purusha. A constant flow of knowledge support is there, flowing from there. And with that knowledge, he will use that knowledge for the purpose of discriminating other studies that he will be bringing up. Not that he will not study. He will study science, he will study mathematics, he will study language, everything he will study. He will grow up. Every study that he gets into it, he will relate and discriminate with this knowledge, that the basis of that. With that basis only, because whatever we have got idea, with that idea only the other knowledge that is being input is provided, that will be discriminated by that knowledge which is there, existing there. That existing knowledge should be, but again, why a person, then I told that, okay, a child who has grown in such an environment, he goes bad, I said, yes. How? Why? Because he has not been inculcated into the absolute Dhyanam. Because that was not an absolute Dhyanam, he is not related to Prakriti and Purusha, so he has got an independent intelligence development, which is his mind's emotional settlement. Due to his mind's emotional settlement, this perception of understanding from the parents he have learnt, and that he uses as a discriminative power for the knowledge which he never understands, and he gets misguided, misled by that. Whereas he gets the absolute Dhyanam in the childhood itself, which is synchronized with the Prakriti. When it is synchronized with the Prakriti, his Dhyanam is not his alone, is a vast area of the Dhyanam provided to him. Now, any other things come into him, he will use this as the discriminator. That which is firm, established and studied properly, which has got the support of the celestial being. Let us call it like that. So a discrimination will be much better. Whereas a person who has grown up with emotional disturbances in the house, jhagda hai, pyar hai, or everything is there, love, affection, fight, growth, karma, everything is there. With all that, when a child is grown up, his mind is always in a confusion of that. So naturally what happens, the external knowledge is what he is studying in school and colleges and friends and society and things like that, he will try to analyze with it and weigh it according to, depending upon his emotional status and requirement. So emotional status is, I want to earn money, so he will study only that which makes him to earn money or something else. So what happens, his knowledge will be limited based on his emotions that is prevalent in him, that was prevalent in him. Whereas when these studies, when it is happening, what happens, he is taught to control and he is taught to discriminate and eliminate the emotional disturbances that takes place in his mind and make him understand how to make those emotions and indriyas, as I told you, indriya nigraham, indriya vijayam, to take place. All these things will be learned from the small. He will behave according to that. That's why we call it as more mature way of behaving, we call it. Not just becoming serious, no. No, he knows what is to be accepted, what is not to be accepted, how it should be. Today, a total confused lot of people, youngsters, you can see, is only because of that. We, the generation of ours, made a mistake of not making them study the TK. Along with the school studies, we should have studies of these sciences also, where the value of everything is there in that. Through that value of everything, something learning is not at all a problem. But with some learning, value of everything cannot be ascertained, is a problem. Yes. Look at school, Christian schools, look at Islamic schools. Whether that religious studies, they make, okay, they got, now it is a repercussion is there, it's not that. But they have made a discipline that they have to send their children for this also. Every week it has to be there. And in the schools it has been incorporated. But, well, today I think people are becoming more conscious. Well, at least the next generations, probably it will become better. And for that we are responsible. People of our generation is responsible. We didn't do it. We should have done it because we didn't know. Again, we were not told to do it. Few generations above us, but in some of our generation, people have done it. So we benefited out of it. But not all of them. It's not that. But we should. This is why the practices of such things have to be there from the beginning. Practices of anything should be there in the beginning, as you said that, from the childhood, if it's easy for establishing, easy for understanding, easy for becoming that, this is there, that's okay. So if it is bad things also, he will learn bad things. From the childhood, if it is a bad influence that he has got, he will learn that. And he will utilize that as a power of discrimination for everything. Now you can imagine, he uses that power of discrimination to understand the Vedic Dhyanam, he will not be there. He will prove it as wrong, that's all, because he cannot understand it. He cannot decide what is to be done in his life. Whereas by learning this Dhyanam, what happens? Everything is inherent in it. So this Dhyanam, synchronized with the celestial Dhyanam, will automatically lead him that how to lead the life of the true brahmachari in his life. This learning, to establish that learning, a firm education of these things are necessary in early ages is better. Well, later also is okay. Later, why we are not able to adopt it? No? Sometimes we say, oh, we should become like that. Sometimes we say, what is the use of it? After all, forget about it. थोड़ी दिन के बाद तो मरना है, and why to waste time? Let us have a nice new ice cream has come. Why not we eat it and enjoy it? No problem. Mind will go like that, no? Because we are used to certain things, we are unable to persistently being in that, to be that. Otherwise, with so much of learning, one should have turned to a sannyasi by now. So much, 30 years I have been talking. We all should be in Himalayas by now. No. We are only in Himalaya and distilled waters. Drinking water, that's all. Om Shanti.